Thank God there's only 5 games this round. Hopefully I could actually, get 100% for once. Probably not likely, but, Hello guys, it's 1099 here and welcome to NRL Tips and Predictions round 13. Kind of speedrun version purely because there is only 5 matches this round. May 31st. It is going to be State of Origin Game 1. So you're going to have a lot of players out for Origin. So you're going to see a few interesting games and see how that could affect them in terms of the players that are not going to be playing on the weekend. So kicking off first with the game on Thursday, and it is the Redcliffe Dolphins up against the St George Illawarra Dragons. Now, the Dolphins were coming off a loss to the Melbourne Storm. The Storm are starting to get their footing back. I feel like it's actually kind of a good thing as well coming in the lead up this, because the Storm don't have that many players in Origin, so you're going to start seeing make a charge. And then you're seeing the St George Illawarra Dragons, who are now coming off somehow getting their coach sacked last week and still winning, beating the Roosters at Cogra. So in terms of Origin selection, I feel like there might be like 1 or 2 players. Ben Hunt is so far the only player that is going to be out purely because he's going to be representing Queensland instead of Origin. And I just feel that Dolphins haven't lost yet at their actual stadium in Redcliffe. And as much as I would like to see the momentum continue on with the Dragons, it is a Redcliffe team that kind of have a point to prove. So with this, I'm going to say that the Redcliffe Dolphins will take the win on Thursday. Now on Friday, we have 8 p.m. kickoff, and we have got an interesting game, actually, to say at the very least. You've got the Parramatta Eels up against the North Queensland Cowboys. Obviously, the first time these two teams have played since the preliminary final last year, and boy, have they kind of fallen from grace at the moment. But there have been some ups. Parramatta are coming off a win against South Sydney last week, so you're starting to see some good form coming out of there, hopefully. And for the North Queensland Cowboys, yeah, that happened. It's kind of interesting because of the team selections that the North Queensland Cowboys are kind of screwed. You got Murray Talagi and Valentine Holmes out. You also got a bunch of the forward pack. You got Reece Robson. I'm trying to think of another one. Is it Tom Gilbert? I think is also selected for Queensland. So it's like, I think out of all of them, they're kind of screwed because half their team is pretty much gone. So I think purely based off that, I think Parramatta should win. If they don't, then I don't know what is going to happen there. Now we go to the 5:30 game on the Saturday, and we have got another interesting game. Top 8 clash. It is the New Zealand Warriors against the Brisbane Broncos out over the ditch in Napier, which is going to be interesting. The Warriors are coming off a bye last week, so they're all fresh and ready, as the Broncos are coming off a loss to the Penrith Panthers, which was a bit of a weird game. Brisbane have got a few players out for Origin. I think Reece Walsh is going to be one of them, plus Payne Haas is another one, so they're going to be on different sides. That'll be interesting. The thing about this, though, is like Brisbane are a good team, but I don't know. I think like being in New Zealand, I think it would favour the Warriors because, home field advantage, but I just think that it's going to be very close, this game. And you also got Cobbo is going to be out as well, so there's a few more players I'm actually thinking of. So I do think, purely because of of Brisbane having a fair amount of their attack out, I think that the New Zealand Warriors should be able to take the win. Now we go to the main event game on Saturday, and this is actually probably one of the closest games you could probably go for in this round. You've got the South Sydney Rabbitohs up against the Canberra Raiders. So Rabbitohs obviously coming off that loss to Parramatta last round, and you have the Canberra Raiders who are also coming off a fairly sizable loss to Manly. And in terms of Origin, both teams have a fair amount of players out. South Sydney, of course, you've got Campbell Graham, Latrell Mitchell. I think that's about it for South Sydney. I think there's probably Cameron Murray as well, I just remembered. Canberra, they've got Hudson Young, who's now going to be playing for New South Wales. Maitland represent. But yeah, it's going to be a very close game. It's like, this is a game where Canberra can kind of prove themselves of deserving to be in the 8. This is going to be my shoe-in of the week. Going to be a hard one to kind of predict, but I've called upon wisdom, and it said the Tigers would beat the Cowboys. I mean, they did, but I think anyone who expected the result that happened. But shoo-in of the week for round 13, South Sydney will beat the Canberra Raiders. Which is a little bit bold, obviously, because you got Latrell out and Campbell Graham with Cameron Murray. But I still think Souths have got enough depth that will be able to beat Canberra. And now we go to the final game on Sunday, and it is the Newcastle Knights up against the Manly Seagulls. Obviously, these two teams had the draw, which really should have been our Knights win. But the Knights are coming off a 20-point loss to the Cronulla Sharks last round up at Coffs Harbour, but Manly coming off a big win against the Raiders. But obviously, you got to look into the Origin squads, because Jake Trbojevic has just been announced that he's done his calf, which is going to rule him out for the entirety of Origin now for New South Wales. So he's going to be out. Turbo's going to be out. There's probably someone else I'm probably thinking that has been selected from Manly. And interestingly enough, Ponga and Gagai have not been selected for Queensland. The only player playing in Origin for New South Wales from Newcastle is actually Tyson Frizzell, who's going to be playing for the Blues. So, betting market is actually at saying that the Knights are like kind of heavy favourites, $1.39 to $3 for Manly. And you know what? I kind of think this is like a motivation game for Ponga and Gagai, saying it's like you basically presenting that you done messed up for not actually selecting us Queensland. And I'm actually going to say that the Knights will get the win. I think that's going to be kind of bold to say the least, because I don't know. I think Manly's still got some very talented players. It's just the Knights are going to, implement controlling the match. But yeah, I think the Knights can do it. And that's going to be the end of my round 13 predictions. Fairly short, but short and round. So what do you guys have for this round? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all later.